All right. Well, it's just www.playeroptions.com. So obviously that's a link that they don't like across Steam because people sell on their Steam accounts, which is against the term of service.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, no, they've changed the
Hello
layout a little
everyone,
bit.
welcome. How did I get zapped by... Oh, food. I was going to say, your Tesla. So what we've done is we've blown, or Northside blew up everything in here. We didn't get to see what the guy had. Um,
I'm sorry.
we were wondering if he had the rarest armor you can have. Um, he must have had something. Like, yeah, even I'm thinking. So what we've done, because we never got to see it, the only thing we're thinking of is if we set it up similar to how his was, he'll want to break back into if it was really that precious. And unfortunately, all he's going to be greeted is with a zombie arm and one piece of cloth in each spot. So that's a bit of a troll. So we're just going to tidy it back up to make it look like somehow similar to what he had. I'm guessing he might spawn outside of the damn thing. He's going to notice that there's not as many Tesla coils or anything else. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive back down to another section where we took over a base and what we did there, and then I'm going to call it a night. Now basically this guy called Chris and Jess, he's been playing for the majority of the day today, and he's done pretty good by himself. Like, he got an SMG and things like that. Just about to blow up the car. Oh yeah, I still have a hammer on. And basically he was trying to catch a sheep and he couldn't catch a sheep, and I jumped out of the car, killed it, stole all his sheep meat and then drove off. And then later on I trolled him again. I found out where his base was and I dropped a bandage outside his house because he was bleeding, and then I stole his car. And by the way, if you are actually playing this, don't be dumb enough. I'm guessing a lot of noobs are probably this dumb. Like, I reckon I could just wait until you go to your base and then come out and drop a pretty good gun outside, and you would run out to get the gun, and while you've opened up your accommodation I would run in and steal everything you had. Like, do not leave your accommodation doors open. Not in this game.
Exactly.
But I reckon a lot of people would, just because they'd be like, oh, he's nice. He's leaving me a gun on the ground. Oh, how nice. You know what I mean? Like, I reckon that would be what a lot of people would. What's this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, you can sell things.
You get it. Yeah, I had a guy like that as well. I run into on the Europe server, and he was building a wooden base, and I didn't think he had much, so I just dropped a couple of things, and he was like, "No, go away!" Like, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just giving you this. I don't want it." He's like, "I don't want it. Take it and leave." Okay.
So,
just didn't want to know, you know.
He didn't want to know. So other people evidently do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's one of those, suspicious players. But really, when it comes down to it, basically, there you go. So when it comes down to it, really, that's pretty much a rule of survival in an apocalyptic situation: is avoid other people because they will kill you and take your stuff.
Yeah, so they will appear friendly, and they're not.
Yeah, that's when there's no friends in the apocalypse. Everybody's out for their own to keep themselves alive. So
yeah, it would be very rare to get actual good friends in a game like this.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I just walked into a gun situation. Having said that, like, it must be possible to find people. I guess to some degree, if you were helpful, you might be able to find someone. But in my personal experience, like, Northside's a pretty easygoing guy to play with. I played another apocalyptic game with someone else, and he just had to do everything. You know, he had to be the best at everything, and he had to show that he was, you know, oh, I'll get the gun for you, and I'll get this, and you know what I mean. And it robbed you from wanting, you know, you felt more like a hindrance. It wasn't a teamwork. It wasn't anything like that. And some people are like that to play with. Like, they're very controlling.
He's in charge.
Yeah, they're always in charge. There's no real team play, and the apocalyptic games are full of those people. So you know,
That's it. So, like, I find a lot of these games, like don't get me wrong, without being too alarmist and all that sort of thing, but yeah, sort of like take on a not take the game too seriously, because well, you can't really take this game too seriously, but it's but it's one of those things, like, have fun with it and stuff, but still take on a bit of a normal, like, say, a real life survival mentality.
Yeah.
Like my idea, like I said, without getting too out there and stuff, like, basically, if there's ever an apocalyptic situation, you will never see me in a group of people. I'll basically be non-existent. You won't even know. Nobody will actually know that I exist.
Yeah.
Sort of person. I won't be going out looking for groups of survivors and blah 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 and rebuild society. It's like I'll be going bush, building a spider hole and hiding out in there all day, and then going out at night collecting food and things and raiding other people's bases in the quiet. And then during the day, I'll be back under the ground in a little spider hole sort of thing until the sun goes down again.
And that's kind of how I do a lot of things as well. You know what I mean?
So that's how I play this game. Is I just don't generally communicate too much with other players, but sometimes you run across people and they're like I've generally found the more not really the higher level players, but the people that have been playing for a little while, you generally have to be a little less trustful of sometimes, because a lot of them are the ones that are, not a lot, but they're the ones that are more likely to sort of take your stuff because they know how to do it, and things like that. Whereas you get some of the younger, newer players, they're like that as well, but some of the younger, newer players are very
cautious.
Hi, I'm you. How is everybody? Yeah, but even in chat, they'll be like, hi, hey, how's everybody going? I'm you. What do I need to do and stuff? And you go like, oh yeah, I'll give you, you be cautious about it. You don't take all your good stuff, but it's like, yeah, look, man, meet me here. I'll give you some basic armor and a gun, and let's do a couple of things and all that sort of stuff. And I've met a couple of people like that are pretty cool. But I've also met a few where it's just been a fake thing to win your trust over to steal your stuff.
Yep, and that's the hard thing. So I've met this guy, Christian Jen, and told him put a sheep in there, but unfortunately server reset and the sheep came out. But as you can see, if he spawns in there, which he will, he won't be able to get to his boxes without getting zapped. You can't jump over the top of jeeps, so even if he bashes all those down, I've actually put more stuff in his boxes though, so he was actually quite empty, so I actually gave him more stuff. So it's kind of like a nice thing and a bad thing at the same time.
I was actually thinking, what, you think we should just give him like 2 or 3 years worth of food, basically, so he just just you're just sitting there and live. Don't worry about the apocalypse and the zombies, man. You're alright. We've locked you in. You're barricaded. We've got your food. You're cool, man. Just live out your days. You'll be fine.
That would be funny as. That would be funny as. You can come back. It would be funny if you could. It would be funny if you could leave a note to them and just say, "Look, I'll come back and check on, see how you're going, in next week or something."
Yeah.
Meals on wheels. Just leave. I'll leave the stuff on the door for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this was probably the funniest and fun part of the game, destroying other people's bases and claiming supremacy. My island, back off.
That's it. I was actually just going to say, the thing you got to think about though is how would you feel tomorrow morning you log in to do a couple of things and like all of a sudden you've been locked out of your base and all of that stuff's been stolen.
Yeah, I know. You'd
be like, God, what? Oh, wait a minute, I guess that's what I've been doing to people on a smaller scale, but either way, what the heck?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just
It's
too
a
conscious of
two-edged
other
sword.
people's feelings sometimes.
But to tell you the
Just
truth,
'cause I'm not.
every game has it. Like even in Payday, like
Yeah,
you'll be doing a stealth heist, and you've spent 40 minutes on a stealth heist, and somebody will log in, throw a grenade, and log back out.
yeah,
Classic. Everyone does. Eventually you learn, and these are the ways you learn. You learn. Okay, I am not going to keep the game open for public until I've passed a certain area, and it doesn't then matter if it goes loud. I'll still get my loot and I'll still get my bounty. Same here. Yes, undoubtedly, we've done some mongrel stuff today. Some of these things, there are people that are going to just throw their arms up in the air and just go, "This game is stupid. Never playing this game again." But
Yeah. I was actually going to say just real quick. I was actually thinking about that before. Maybe when we, finished with these couple of videos and things like that, we should put a post up in the forum saying, like, relax everybody. The trolling on the Asia server is over. It was just for a couple of YouTube videos. Like things come back.
I think the last video where they see where our base is, they'll be like coming towards it with TNT galore. So,
Actually, that's just reminded me of another little tip too. If you're gonna take screenshots of your base for your friends and all that sort of stuff, basically mark it as friends only, like for your screenshots, because basically otherwise it goes to the community hub. And if you know certain areas of the map pretty well, you can generally work out where people's bases are. So like, if somebody's speaking Spanish, it's like, oh well, they're obviously on the South America server. Oh, I know exactly where that spot is because you can tell from the coastline, things like that. So it gives away your base location. And I've seen that with a lot of new players as well, as they'll build up a little base and they'll have collected like some guns and some ammo. So they'll open up their box and take a screenshot of their their TNT and their AK-47 and their 200 rounds of ammo. But it's like really all they've done is basically shown everybody that plays Immune, or to everybody that checks the community hub, where their base is and what they've got in it.
yeah.
So it's cool. If you're going to take photos for your screenshots for your friends or just for yourself, mark it as friends only in your screenshots, and then it doesn't go to the community hub, and you can keep your stuff secret.
And I think that's what we're going to finish off on, is the fact that, hey, look, even though we've shown you a base and everything else, it was only for video purposes. We weren't. That's not how we play. We bury the stuff in random locations. We're not going to, because it's too much of an upkeep, like having to log in every 4 days and just pound your walls back up and everything else like that.
That's it. Really, to keep it at full strength, you got to log in every day too. So
yeah,
because as the days go on, it deteriorates. So like if you're at day 3, you might only have like a quarter health on your stone walls and your steel doors, and then somebody finds it in that state, it only takes them a couple of minutes to break down that wall. Whereas if you log in every day and repair it, it's at full strength, but that's still logging in every day, repairing a couple of hundred walls. It's got a decent sized base like ours, so it can take a good 20 minutes to half an hour at least every day just to maintain it.
Yeah.
Which is a decent amount of gameplay time, sort of, really. Sorry, I didn't remember.
No, that's cool. So I'm back at A. I'm guessing there's nothing much more else to do. Have we got enough to at least put a door on? I think we need to at least put a door on his...
Well, I was going to say, you've got that big forest just beside A there. You could always cut down some trees. So I'm actually up near K. I wasn't sure where you're going. I thought you were heading back up to our base.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
But that's right. I'll head back up towards that way. But there's that big forest just beside you if you want to put a wooden door on it.
How many do you need for a wooden door? I keep forgetting.
70?
70?
That's 70 for a wooden door.
Problem is the amount of damn trees.
Wooden door 80, sorry.
80.
8 trees.
Which is 8 trees.
Yeah.
I wish the trees had different amounts of... Oh, the stupid zombie keeps coming up.
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah, I know, actually.
the trees had different amounts of, uh, so that they weren't all the same. Like some had 20 or some had 30 or.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. So, so like I said, little things that we can always suggest on the forum and see
Yeah,
where
I
it goes.
think
So
my suggestion when it came to the forum was he goes, you know, what's the biggest things you would like? And the biggest
yeah,
things are, look, it's really aggravating the transportation of the stuff. The
mm,
transportation of the stuff is just a sheer headache. Even burying it,
yeah,
the worst part of burying it is organising. Like at least in the loot box, it's organised. And one of his old suggestions was, well, can't we make a loot box, fill the loot box, and then bury the loot box?
yeah.
And that would have been so much
It's
better because, this whole game's appeal is in the burying side of things. But it doesn't make it practical. And if a game isn't practical, it's not going to attract a lot of people, and it's going to get to a point where people just go, you know what? I've spent a week on that on this game. That's it. That's all I'm willing to spend. Um,
yeah,
and that's where he's at the moment. He's got to
yeah,
make the game practical as well as put in things that promote longevity.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely the longevity. Like, admittedly, I've had times where I've not got bored with it, but it does get a little bit dull here and there. But see, like I said, I've got an overactive imagination, really, so I can just
Oh
I'm
yeah,
happy to
yeah,
just go
without
off
a
on
doubt.
my own little tangent and
But at the same
but it
time, you've
doesn't.
got to understand you can do that with any game.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Like,
that's
I
more
can do that
me
with
and maybe
Payday,
that's
I
like a
can do that
game.
with Ark, I can do that, with 7 Days
Yeah,
to Die. I can run around and um, have the imagination with all the other games as well.
yeah,
Does come down to basically the problem is you can spend a week on this and you've already amassed everything that you can amass.
yeah, yeah. That's it. You don't really need to do anything else. Like I said, you can basically just sit back and like I
Yeah,
was saying about that other guy, if we would have put, a whole stack of food in his thing and lock him in there, really, there'd be no need for him to actually go anywhere and do anything. He could just log in and eat, and then off he goes.
and I
So
think to some degree that um, being in a teamwork, and this is why I would recommend for those that want to buy the game, I would really recommend maybe buying 2 games and purchasing it to play with a couple of friends, because you can really have a lot of fun, especially taking over bases and things like that. But you need to really play with a couple of players. Um, you can play single, but I just find the enjoyment is, not knowing what your friend's doing. He might be doing something stupid
yeah,
like giving tickets out, or trying to kill a bull with a
yeah.
plunger or something. you know, can that be done? I don't know. Uh, and
I'm just gonna
those,
stand back and let you try.
yeah, I'll try it on another video. Um, the other thing I don't like about what the developer is doing is because he's taking his time, and that's understandable. There's no benchmark set. There's no look. I hope to have this done by, June, July, or whatever the case may be. And because there's no
Time frames.
benchmark set, no one knows. There's no anticipation. No one knows. At the same time, there's no disappointment either. So, why have you got stuff all over the place?
Oh, that was just stuff that I just dropped so you could pick it up if you wanted it.
Oh,
There's just a couple of yeah. You're right. Sorry,
it's not
I
bad
was just
stuff
there. I was just
though.
grabbing
Like I was expecting, crap, but it wasn't crap stuff.
oh the metal and the bit of
Yeah.
wood I dropped there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I had that hitting it buried at the front. I just wanted to get my TNT, so I thought, oh well, while I'm going up here to get a couple other things, I'll leave that there for you for when you come
Oh,
back.
okay, alright, I understand.
Yeah,
So
just being nice.
all I'm going to do is create a So he's got to at least do something to get back into his apartment before he finds out.
That's it, all to get out anyway.
Either way, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, just depends where he's logged in or logged out. So. Still kicking myself about those damn boxes. I just didn't think that was gonna. Like I said, I didn't think that TNT was gonna plant there because it was red, but it did, and I'm like, no, I can't stop it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't stop a TNT once you've sort of created it. So, okay, well, that's at least gonna bury that. He's going to be pissed no matter what. We've pissed everyone off on this island. We're the hated team that there is. It's been one hell of a party. Yay! Really? So when you type in something, it appears over your head.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to tell you that bloody a couple of days ago. You've got the global chat, but if you press enter, you can chat on the screen.
Okay. I'll have to try.
Sorry, I meant to. Yeah, I meant to mention that the other day, but see, that's what I was saying about giving people tickets, like just walking up with my policeman's hat, and they're like, hey, how you going? I'm like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you seeing? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, $100 fine for loitering, and then just run off. And they're just like, what? Just little things like that. But,
we'll have to do that for another video. Finding people would be really, really hard, you know?
Yeah.
we're the police, but actually, could we actually act as if we're officials? Like we're, you know what I mean? Like, look,
I know what you mean.
that's a misdemeanor. Do that again. We're gonna give you a yellow card. Do that again, and you'll be locked off for 4 days. You know what I mean? But like, what the hell? Is that serious? You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Are we pushing for a game ban here or what?
Yeah. We don't accept that. We don't accept that sort of behaviour against NPCs. You know what I mean? Or something along those lines. But anyway, all right. Until next time. Bye for now.
Cool. All right.